Alright, I want to talk about something, I guess. This is like unscripted. I'm recording just like this. It's really like late. Yeah, it's 11 p.m. So I gotta watch to not like talk loudly, because the louder I talk, the more high pitched I get. And this isn't like my usual voice. This is when I like try to be silent. One thing that I'm bad at is like talking spontaneously while it's drawing. But I want to attempt it because unscripted videos are sometimes really fun. And I gotta first things first think about where I want to begin with like my drawing itself, because I just right now freshly opened it. But yeah, I want to talk about like a thing that I barely talk about, I guess. Maybe I don't know. It's hard to talk without a script or any like notes. Basically, I'd love to start a series one day, like an animated series of like my own fan characters. As you can tell right now on the screen. I don't know if you use this as like background noise. Maybe you're one of these types of people. I don't mind it, honestly. It's just that, I just love you to look at the screen right now. Hi, hello. Yeah. This is basically like my entire team. I am like drawing it as we speak. I want to post it to my DeviantArt. I want to like get this done. It's been like so long ago, and I've always dreamed of like finishing my series. Well, what can I say? Finishing my series. It's really start animating my series. Thing is, I don't have the audience to do that. At least I believe. Because in order to start a series, you must have a following. And I don't have the biggest following, admittedly. I don't want to be like, oh, why are you not subscribing and all that. I just want to like talk a total piece, like no strings attached, just normal talking about what I want to do in the future. So, since you took a gander at my characters, I assume, maybe you didn't, not judging you, but yeah, you're gonna miss the context of this. I wanted to like make a series out of this entire team, and it's kind of a big dream, especially since I don't know how busy I will be after I'll graduate from school, which is like my primary thing to do at the moment. And I don't want to become like a jobless hobo working 24/7 to get art done. I do want like a stable job, and I do like want to make animations, but I know how tiring it is and how often I need breaks, because I only manage to like make animations in the summertime like the best with the most effort, if I like have the tools and time for it. So it's gonna get hard animating big scenes and all that if I like get a really stable job, like a solid job, like graphic designer kind of job, if the dream really becomes true. Because I'm not sure if I've like talked about like my future before on this channel, but I want to become like a real graphic designer, design logos, like do all that kinds of stuff, possibly like make brands and like stuff like that. I'm not good at talking, I'm so sorry. It's kind of hard because people have a dream all the time, but the thing is, a dream not always comes true. And God, I probably don't have to like mention the stereotype of like 20-year-old college kids who have to like work late night shifts just to earn some extra money while they're also studying to try and pay off their debt. That's like, I guess, one of the biggest stereotypes about school that I know of, that is like, I think, nationally recognizable. I'm not sure if it's only like bound to America, and I'm sorry if it is. I did like mention not research any of this. I'm just talking out of my heart right now. And I should stop saying and, first things first. There is kind of an issue with what I want to do, because that's exactly what I'm scared of. I'm scared of not being able to get a job out of my sheer pure laziness, I can sometimes get really lazy, admittedly, and sometimes I just can't bring myself to get out of bed. It's just sometimes that hard. Some days I just lay in bed all day and even forget about my homework sometimes. Which I shouldn't, by the way. I suck at math so much. Talk about that too. I might not graduate because of maths like this year either. I may be able to repeat my grade, but it'll be incredibly humiliating, first things first, and second thing second, I maybe will not get the same teacher anymore. Like, the first teacher that has like ever shown compassion to me and has treated me like, a human. He was a great teacher. That's all I can say. I'm not like heads over heels over him. He was just a great teacher. He like did everything in his power to like help out students understand a topic. It was just all kinds of, I guess, determined, and I respect that because you don't always get like a good teacher that how do I describe this? That does the job correctly. I guess you could call it that. Those kinds of teachers who like show compassion, who actually like chatter to you and like respect you. I appreciate those kinds of teachers. They're great. And my highest regards goes out to like teachers like those who like try their best in like doing all this education stuff and trying to teach you, or a bunch of rebellious teens who don't like listening to you and don't want to be told what they got to do all day and have homework. It's incredibly difficult. It's an exhausting job, and anyone who like says that teaching is easy, I just think it's kind of wrong to think that, because God, imagine if you were in a classroom with just a bunch of like young students who don't want to listen to you and just want to run around and annoy you. That would be a nightmare. Anyway, besides that, what I want to do with like my own series, it's like maybe make like 2 or maybe up to 4 seasons. I'm like still a little swaying between 4 or 3, but I honestly want to do like 3. And before you ask, the episodes could possibly be like 10 minutes each episode, be like 50 episodes in total. I'd love to do that. And I first got to study and graduate before I do that, of course. There's a lot to consider when I really want to start animating, because if I need voice actors, if I need, some sort of like team that could help me with like animating faster instead of like taking 7 months or just one 10-minute episode, because I either can't bring myself to finish it, because that's how it is most of the time. I flail around until there's a deadline, which is kind of like a bad habit for me, and I should honestly stop that, stop doing that in general. There's a lot to consider. Sometimes I work hard, sometimes I just don't want to work hard. It's a mystery what kind of mentality I got. It's really difficult sometimes because I'm like a Rubik's Cube. Maybe if I'll grow out of my puberty, get a stable job, and like get an apartment, I'll only like start doing that. And I think that's like the best solution to this kind of thing. If I really want to dream this big, I gotta first, get my life together instead of, dream big but have like a small life. I'd love to have a family. I'd love to like get a husband that loves me, and like not only like not about my body but about who I am, the person that I am. If of course I'll grow. I at the moment cannot stand myself either. I at the moment am atrocious with talking to people. I'm incredibly anxious, and I don't manage to like deal social communication well. I can judge that already by me having to constantly by constantly just being very irked about doing group projects, because all people do is shun me out of group projects and do it themselves, and I have to work on my own in order to help the group if like you get into the lazy group. I don't know. It's at the moment just school struggles, and I really don't know like the reality of life so far. So I think it's only fair to think that I should maybe wait a little before, I do things to rash, and, I start putting a lot of hard work into like an audience that doesn't actively support me. It's not to insult anybody that's like watching me, and I hope I don't sound like arrogant or egotistical, because I'm not trying to, and it's sometimes really hard to like clarify my point. A lot of people get confused about what I say, so it's sometimes a little hard to like speak out about this, because it just sounds so bad in my mind, and I sound really selfish in my mind too. So I hope you can like understand me, and I hope it somewhat is clear on like a personal point, because I'm not good at explaining, and I'm literally like the worst tutor ever, even though I love to help. There's a lot of things that I like have to do first before I actually start a series. The first thing that I have to do is scripting, which would probably take forever, judging by like how much I hate writing when it's not fun. especially like when you cannot describe what you're trying to write, which I fail on most of the time. And having to use like complex English just to like have an enticing story is difficult. I know it's not like a novel and stuff. I want to make it into an actual series. But the thing is, how am I gonna start a series without a script? And I thank my friend Kate for this first point in general, because I kind of like jumped more to the like animation point on making a series, and it's just incredibly difficult because pitching like a series to a small fan base, if even people consider themselves a fan of me, I don't think so. I think they're just normal viewers who just want to see me draw or use me as background noise, which is totally fine. Once again, just want to like identify where it could possibly be, what my audience is like. I don't know, so if you just like give me a reason on why you watch me, I'd appreciate it if you put it down in the comments, because I read all of them, trust me, because I have to constantly moderate my comment section, or else sometimes like school bullies will go through, or other people who like just want to troll the entire comment section. And yes, I do take care of my comment section. That's probably why there isn't so many comments, because like they know that I'm watching like a Hawkeye. Kaka. Yeah, I derailed from my point again. This is exactly why I should script my videos. I cannot even script, that is the thing. I'm not an experienced writer, nor are my scripts consistent. I constantly change them around, and they're never consistent. This is exactly the issue that I mean with, like, I can't write, and I'm not good at English. It's probably gonna be hearable for my accent as well, because the quieter I have to talk, the more difficult it gets to force my accent. And in case you don't know, I'm trying to like get like a more American accent. That's maybe why I sound so weird to possibly a few people. And I hope I don't. I'm really trying to sound as English as possible, because I don't like when people tell me I have an accent. But yeah, aside that, another issue that's probably going to be really prevalent is like a budget. If I'm gonna have to do everything all by myself, the voice acting, making music, compositing, and all that, the budget will be quite low, and I'll be able to do my own thing, which will kind of give me the freedom that I just kind of wish for, because I don't like being like very dependent on people, yet I still am, which is another big minus, because if I'd have a team, things would be so much easier, but at the same time, like, I'd stress every single day about it, because I'm an incredibly lazy person, and I can't bring myself to do work unless if I get stressed about it, which is like also another thing that I'm just thinking about. It's a struggle between me and my laziness, and I wish I could be more of a productive human being. Maybe I'd animate more, maybe I'd learn more for my art in order to improve, because I only changed my style recently, yet I already feel like I'm doing like hundreds of flaws now that I've changed boats, and I know that I'm like cartoonizing, if that's like a real adjective. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Right. If I already changed my style, and I think I should do a series in my old style, because it's more simpler, because my current style is like very fluffy, very furry, like, I guess, because, you know, I'm also furry, just straight off the bat, I'm also furry. I mostly identify as like somebody who draws Mobians instead of furry characters, because furry characters are more rare, and I've only like published one of my characters, not one of mine, but like somebody commissioned me for once, which I still appreciate. Thank you, by the way. And yeah, this is probably going to be a really long video, judging by how long I'm talking and I can't get to the point. I'm so sorry once again. I really should script instead of like do these right off the bat videos, but it's also so difficult to talk about this with like a script, because what is there to talk about with a script? I cannot script that. And one other thing that just now came to mind is I wouldn't want to be this type of person like go on GoFundMe and ask for money to start a series, because one thing I know is that I'm unreliable at the moment. I don't know if I'll be adult I'll be more reliable, but I definitely am not at the moment. I sometimes struggle to like keep with a deadline. Sometimes, as I have mentioned before, I struggle to get out of bed. I just sometimes can't get my work done because of how unmotivated I get, which is something where I'm very like on doing that. I'd love to make a series, don't get me wrong. I'd put like my entire life into it, because I really do want to see my characters come alive, and I really do want to animate them. It's just that it's going to take so much and so long to get recognized, so it'll be worth it. Maybe I'll wait until I get like an actual follower base, maybe get like more than 1,000 subscribers. I don't know. I honestly don't care about subscribers, but I do care about what is like going to happen in the future. If nobody's going to watch my content I put hours and hours of work into, like straight up days, because all of my like map parts, they take days, believe it or not, even if some like can look lazy to you. I actually do put a lot of work into them, despite like having like literally told the entire internet about like how lazy I am. I still do get the work done. That is the thing. And maybe if I like put myself some personal deadlines on like animating a certain thing and stuff, maybe I'll get better at like following, you know, my own mentality that is quite lazy. It's really difficult to talk about this because I'm just so nervous to tell people that I would like love to do something, but it's just not enough for me to actually have a belief that I should start something. And one or two people are not going to convince me to like start this entire series that I want to animate. The maximum that like 2 or 3 people that are my friends can get me to do is possibly like try and do a script. It's not like even like a legit thing, it's just try to do it. Because what am I supposed to do when nobody will watch it? And, you know, if nobody will like comment to like keep on going, and that I will eventually make it, that I will one day be popular. It's not my goal, but I just want to be recognized for the work that I do. It is another thing, because if you wish to get recognized, you will become, you know, selfish, greedy, and you will turn into a different person if you like dare change up something and suddenly become more selfish and self-centered. I mean, God, how many people have told me now that I've become like a toxic person for just being more distrustful because of the amount of people that have like broken my trust and that have kind of betrayed me. Actually, they actually did betray me, and it sucks to even tell you this publicly. I thank God I'm not spiteful enough to like say anybody's name, but I'm still angry at these people that have like quote unquote betrayed me, that have like left me when I needed them the most, that have just ignored my wishes or feeling, and that have just, you know, tried to sneak out of a situation to put themselves into. But yeah, I'm going to like not talk about like my own personal drama issues. That's obviously too personal to really even get into. And no, I'm not going to talk about it if you request about it. If you request it. Because if I get heated, I will be incredibly aggressive. And I don't want that. I've promised myself like a little while ago to not, you know, abuse my anger that I can't control exactly yet, because I still have, you know, puberty issues, and I should not excuse it as puberty issues, but it gives me a little bit more closure on that. But I just think I'm like mentally not ready yet to start a series. Yeah, that's like my main point, because, you know, it's a little difficult to start a series when you mentally do not feel ready for it, and when you're anxious, and you know you're like scared of offending people with what you do, and that is your passion work. That could offend them, and it could like end your entire career here and there in like one thing. I'm scared to start a series because also nowadays culture is just so easy to jump on a bandwagon to hate you, and I would not want to like be thrown off the internet just because I said something slightly offensive, or one of my characters did this or that, which I actually personally wouldn't agree on. Because I know some of my characters are jerks, and sometimes I like hate my characters for being jerks, but at the same time love them for being jerks, because it's just so fun to be a jerk sometimes as like only a character and not like as a real person. If that makes sense. I hope it does. I hope I don't sound rude for like doing that. Yeah, there's just a lot of issues before I really feel confident to start, and I hope people will be able to respect that. Maybe in the future, like Ever mentioned, I will start my series, and maybe if I'll have like a bigger follower base, I might actually be dedicated to finish it. Like finish what I started, like actually get my life's work done, something I want to dedicate my time on, something I want to put love into, and show it off on the internet. I just want to like, I just want to make people proud. I want people to be proud of me. I want to be recognized as somebody who, you know, gets things done, somebody who's able to be a legend, who can do stuff. But I need to work so much more on that until I actually become this much recognized. Only real legends who have been on YouTube like forever will be recognized, and who knows, maybe even YouTube won't be around for much longer, judging by all the corporate issues that have been like going on the past years. I mean, hell, I just back in 2012 watched YouTube videos of like Barbie music videos. That's all I used YouTube for back then, and here I am still like trying to get a small audience to like watch what I do, because I enjoy when people like say, "Wow, your art inspires me," and I also want to draw. You're inspiring me to draw. You're inspiring me to animate, and I'd love to be this kind of person one day. But it will take years and years, more than only like 5 years of drawing that I'm doing now. It will take like maybe, I don't know, 15 years in order to really get popular. And I don't want to think about becoming popular, but I just need some sort of confidence in order to get started with what I want to do. Because I have mentioned this point so much, but without an audience, I'm just not going to get my work done. Because I only work by praise. If I don't have like people who constantly tell me I'm doing good, I won't want to make the thing anymore. Back in 2018, already struggled with that, and you know, it gets hard. It sometimes gets really hard to like turn off the demons in your head, in a sense, if I can describe it as that. I hope it's understandable. It's really hard to try and make it as understandable as possible with what my mentality is. But yeah, you're not gonna get anything done if you're lazy like me, so I want to change that. And, you know, I want to do something. I just want to be a hero for once. I also want to be recognized. I want to be liked by a community. I don't want to be like constantly... you know, that is another thing. I'm sometimes like a real controversial person. I sometimes have like really hot takes. Like, especially YouTube commenters dislike my takes all the time when I try to make a joke. I'm awful with jokes. I all the time get into debates with people because I made a joke. I've gotten into so many that I cannot even like probably list you the like smaller ones that I got into. I can list you more of the like short ones, I guess. Yeah, that is, I guess, some rambling. I'm not good at videos. That is probably why I should stick to animating instead of doing more commentary that I actually do like and I actually do want to do, but I'm bad at it. And I'm not good at talking in general. Yeah, I guess here I spill out my thoughts finally. I was really nervous to do it, but I feel better now that I've talked it out, and now that I've like explained to you why I don't want to like do big projects so far, because I just don't think I'm ready yet, which I will recap now. One, I don't think I'm ready yet. Two, I'm obviously bad at scripting and, you know, doing improv talking. I may be able, I may be good at, you know, improv when I roleplay, because I've done a roleplay now for like 3 years with somebody, but now that they're gone, I only like, I don't roleplay anymore pretty much. But I still write, and I still do improve every single day, because I learn new words almost like every week, which is quite positive, because I get good grades in my English, so that's amazing. And if I also learn Japanese like I always wanted to, maybe I'll be able to, you know, internationally get started. I mean, I'd want my show to be in an anime style, kind of. Well, not really anime style, but inspired / influenced by anime. I just love to do it like the animes with like the really cool fights, the flashy effects. Like, not too epilepsy-ing effects, but just normal, like, urchin flashes and stuff like that. It's hard to explain. I really can't explain it. But yeah, in the future, maybe, if I'll have more experience, like, dealing with my own mental stability, maybe. If I actually know what will be going on in my life, and if I'll have, like, a stable routine, instead of just occasionally doing this and that, maybe. Just not at the moment. At the moment, I'm not ready to, like, publicize it. I may start scripting, because my friends encouraged me to do it. But I will not ever post probably those scripts and, you know, start animating and storyboarding and hire voice actors to do the voices of my characters that are like male, because I can only like do a select amount of female characters, and on male characters I barely manage to like get to the bar that I need to get to, because male characters are difficult for me. I'm a nasally voiced female. It gets incredibly difficult to do like gravelly, really like old men and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess this was my talk. For real now. I'm probably sorry for those who have confused, because I just can't bring myself to talk like more openly about this, and I have to repeat my points because that's the only points I have in my head. Uh, yeah, I guess this was me rambling, and I will most likely not edit this again because not scripted. I don't know what to edit out, and probably will just have this footage in real time playing. Possibly like make it a nice video for background noise once again. But yeah, I guess I'll see you on DeviantArt if you do check out my art there, and if you actually are a follower of mine. I'm not sure, but I hope you enjoy my art. That's like the only thing I'm happy for, when people like my art and my character designs and all that.